Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha Beshalach. The question of the week is, what is the quality of leadership? And especially as we're celebrating this week, the powerful day of Yud Shevat, the anniversary of the previous Rebbe passing away, and the Rebbe taking over the leadership of the Chabad movement. So in this week's Torah portion, the Torah tells us when the Jewish people were leaving Egypt, Vayikach Moshe Rabbeinu, the leader of the Jewish people, took Atzmos Yosef, the remains of Yosef HaTzadik. And the verse says, why did Moshe Rabbeinu take the remains of Yosef HaTzadik? Because Yosef HaTzadik said that one day Hashem is going to remember you and take you out of Egypt, and then you should remember to take my remains out of Egypt so I can be buried in the land of Israel. So the Rebbe asks a simple question. We know that when Yaakov Avinu, Jacob, the third of the patriarchs, passed away, so he instructed his children to take care of him and to carry his coffin, but he said the tribe of Levi, the Levites, should not carry the coffin. And they didn't. Now, the question is, Moshe Rabbeinu is a Levite. He's from the tribe of Levi. So if that's the case, why is he the one carrying Joseph's bones when there was an explicit instruction from Yaakov that the tribe of Levi should not? And the reason, since they're going to serve in the temple, so why all of a sudden is Moshe Rabbeinu carrying Yosef HaTzadik's remains? There's plenty of other people that could have carried it. And the Rebbe explains a fascinating idea, and he says as follows. Why is it that the tribe of Levites did not work in the land of Egypt? All the tribes were enslaved beside the tribe of Levite. Why? Because since the tribe of Levite were dedicated to work in the temple, so when you're working for God, there's no other responsibility you have. Stay focused on working for God, and therefore, even in Egypt, when all the Jewish people were being persecuted and suffered and were slaves, the tribes of Levites were exempt because they were servants of God. Now, Yaakov Avinu, we know that up until Yaakov Avinu passed away, as long as he was alive, the Jewish people were not slaves. They didn't suffer. There was no persecution. The minute Yaakov Avinu passed away, that's when the suffering started. So therefore, Yaakov said, oh, my children, yes, you have to take care of me, bury me in the land of Israel. But when it comes to the tribe of Levites, you're going to be the ones working in the temple. And by me passing away, is the servitude of Egypt is going to start. You can't be involved in burying me, because once I'm buried, that's when the enslavement starting in the land of Egypt, and you cannot have any connection with any type of enslavement in the land of Egypt. However, now when Yosef HaTzadik, as he told the Jewish people, we're going to leave Egypt, take my bones out, that Hashem is going to remember you. So now there's a whole different reality. Now the Jewish people are being freed. Now they're not going to work in the land of Egypt. They're being freed. They're being released. They're becoming free people. So once they're becoming free people, sure, the tribe of Levites can be part of it. And specifically Moshe Rabbeinu. Why? Because now there's a shift. There's a whole shift from being slaves to being free, and that's why Moshe Rabbeinu was involved in it. So the answer to the question, what's the quality of a leader? A leader is involved in bringing freedom and happiness to people. And that's the connection with Yud Shevat. We know that the previous Rebbe and the Rebbe brought happiness, freedom, physical freedom, financial freedom, spiritual freedom, any type of freedom. That's what the Chabad movement, and that's what the Rebbe brought to us. So let's hope and pray we all experience real freedom, real happiness in the spirit of going out of Egypt, where we're free. And the spirit of Vayikach Moshe Atzmos Yosef, that when it comes to taking out Yosef's bones because we're going out of Egypt, everyone's involved. We should all merit to be leaders and to bring freedom and happiness to all the Jewish people. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. This week's Torah lesson is dedicated to the memory of Baruch ben Aryeh Leib, Shlomo ben Yosef, Rachel bas Lipa, Tzina bas Sarah. May their souls be elevated by the Torah we're studying in their memory. For more information, please see our website, chabadswf.org. Have a great and blessed week. Shavua Tov.